Hello and welcome to Preppin Data 2019 Week 3. I'm Adam Riley and I'm going to be solving Preppin Data Week 3 with you here in Enso. So this week we're looking to prepare some data for Tableau Prep. These are all based on Tableau challenges originally. And so what we're trying to do is duplicate some existing data. So I've got the input file here in a data read component in Enso as usual. So we can see inside here we've got the contract details and we've got a scaffold sheet. So I'm going to start with the contract details. We'll come to the scaffold sheet in a moment. If we take a look at this data, so we can see just the way it's imported in the minute, the header row isn't coming in as headers. It's not auto detected those headers. We need to fix that. We've got a blank column here on the right hand side and some blank rows here on the left. So we'll start with just getting that cleaned up. So we'll select has headers, so that moves those up there, and then we just need to remove the blank columns and also remove the blank rows. So doing that, we've now got a much cleaner data set. So that's all clean and ready to start work. And what they want us to do this week is duplicate each of these rows based on the contract length for each of these people. So we want to end up with 24 rows for Carl, 6 rows for Jonathan, 12 rows for Andy, and 12 rows for Sophie. And there's a number of different ways you could go about this. What they're looking for us to do is make use of this second sheet they provided. So I'm just going to copy these 3 components here and we'll just put them across over here, and then I'm just going to switch from contract details to scaffold. And what scaffold is just a sheet with 24 rows, single column called length 1 to 24, and what we're going to do is use that to expand our right hand one. We could have actually built this scaffold table in Enso directly if we wanted to. We could have used the up to component, but I'll make use of their scaffold today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new column onto my original data. And I just want to set this from a numeric value of 0, and I'll call it 0. And so all that's done, if I show you this data, is created this new column here on the right hand side, which is 0. And I'm going to use that so I can do a between join onto this scaffold data. So over here on the scaffold data, I'm going to do a join. I'm going to put the right input in there. I'll do an inner join. And for my on, rather than equals, which was traditionally what I'd use, I'm going to do between. And so I'll do where the length is between 0 and the contract length in months. And what this is going to do is it's going to blow up those records, because this is going to match multiple times to the records over here. And in fact, we look at the results, we see we've now got 54 rows. Again, let's put that out to full screen so we can look at it properly, and you can see for Carl we've got 24 rows, Jonathan we've got the 6. This is exactly what we're looking for. And the last thing to do, if we look at the sample output, is they want a payment date. So for each, so from the start date, we want to create a payment date. And we can do that just using a Enso set component. So I'll just add set on here, and we can do an expression, and we'll do date add, and we'll take the start date. Let's just look at the data so we can see the columns as we're working. So it's start date, sorry, have caps lock on. Start date, we want to add the length, subtract 1. So for the first one, we don't want to add anything, so we want to add 0. And then date add takes what type of unit you want to add. So we want to add a month each time we go down, so I'll just put month in there. And then I can give this a name. So what did they call it? They called it payment date. Payment date in there. So now if we look at what we've got here, again, I'll put it out to full screen so we can take a look. We can see for the first record, we've got a payment date of, in fact, that's added an extra one on there, which isn't quite what I wanted. So I wanted, for the start date, I wanted the payment date to be the same. So what have I done wrong there? Is that, length subtract 0 is not what you wanted. Length subtract 1 would be much better. So again, that instant feedback, so I can see it's wrong, and now immediately I can see the correction. So the payment date for the first one is the same as the start date. Great, and then the last thing to do is just to remove any unnecessary fields and reorder them. So I can just do that using a select columns component. If I choose the reorder mode, that's going to reorder them, and we can watch the data build up as we go. So we want payment date, we want name, monthly cost, contract length in months, and the start date. And there we have, I believe, what we're looking for. So 5 columns, 55 rows of data with a header. So that is Preppin Data 2019 week 3 solved in Enso. Thank you for watching.